almost dropped it. I almost dropped it. But here we go. Here's War Machine and Omega Red. They're going to take us for a ride. Guys, I'm loving this Gamerverse. I'm loving it. I'm loving everything I see from it, except for 3 packs that I can't get my hands on. Those I'm not in love with. But most everything else about the Gamerverse, even the stuff I'm not buying, looks promising. Even the Spider-Man stuff that I did not buy still looked good for what it was meant to be. I didn't want it, but I wanted this. I'm not kidding when I tell you guys that Marvel vs. Capcom was like a big deal to me. Like, I really did that. That's not a joke. I built my own makeshift arcade cabinet for just that game in my basement. Like, we used to play this game like crazy. Absolutely loved that game. And this is kind of a big deal. First off, I have an Iron Man. We've talked about him. I only have one. Technically, I have two. If he ever gets voted on, he has never won a vote, so he has never been opened. We will talk about him someday if he ever gets a vote. Which brings a question. I wanted a War Machine, because I don't have one, and I like War Machine. If they do a Gamerverse style Iron Man, would I want it? That's the Iron Man I grew up with. It's the one that I know the most. Would I end up with it? That's a fair question, and it's probably yes. Because I have no idea who they're going to put with him, but whoever they put with him, I'm probably going to go, oh crap, I want that. They've got me on that one. They've got me. They've got a way to get me, okay? I will admit, fool, that if they keep this line going for the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff, and they release an Iron Man, whomever he comes with will probably be something that I go, ah, crap, I want it. Would he become my choice Iron Man on the shelf? If this guy is any indication, yes. I like this War Machine a lot. To me, this is War Machine. This is what I want him to be. I want him to look like an older, bulkier version of Iron Man, like a hand-me-down armor from like a generation or two past that then he modifies with weapons to his style. That's War Machine to me. It works. I love it. The other guy that came with it is Omega Red. I have owned Omega Red one time. Many years ago. Back when action figures did not have elbows. Back when you got your action figure and like they would have knees. Some of them had elbows. But then some figures were very much like they had like a pose. And the Omega Red that I had, I remember he had like one hand that was kind of like this or whatever, and then another one that was like this. And he was just like always in this pose, and like this is what he could do. And he had like these tentacle things that kind of came out. And that was him. Like he was always stuck in this super 90s exaggerated pose. And then he had like his legs or whatever. And they were kind of stuck in like a pose too. I remember he was like one of those 5 points of articulation figures. I don't remember what line he was from. I just remember that I had one. And I remember that he would always, of course, fight my Wolverine. Because I remember that episode when I was a kid. It like stood out to me. Like that episode where Wolverine fights Omega Red. I have no idea why. But like that episode stood out in my mind for years. Like I was always thinking about how like Wolverine almost lost, and like it was one of those rare episodes where like he was like wearing bandages and stuff because he was beat up, which was not a normal thing that we got in the old animations. Oftentimes you would not see like a bloody hero or something like that. You would not see a damaged hero. They really wouldn't let that play out. It was the good guys won the fight. And even like in things like Spider-Man, where Spider-Man was very obviously like damaged, where like you could tell he had to have broken ribs or like messed up arms or screwed up legs or something like that. He would still just look like Spider-Man, and he would just be like, oh, I'm hurting, oh my God, and that's it. Like, we never actually got to see the damage, but that episode I remember stuck with me because we did get to see that Wolverine was hurt, and it was, like, visible. It's just like a weird memory. It sticks in my head. So, let's open these. Okay, so, let's start with Omega Red, because this guy, I've been wanting one of these for like a long time. First off, you know, the plastic, now this is going to sound weird, but the plastic feels like a little more malleable, like a little easier. I actually like that. I like the plastic feels easier to manipulate. I know that's a minor thing, and probably for some people that's not a good thing, but I actually really like that. Otherwise, he's a solid figure. That's a really good face. I think it works very well. It's very, like, intimidating. It's very crazy. These are something I was wondering about. Back when they very first announced these, I was wondering how much give they would have and what we could actually do with them. And there's not a lot. They're kind of stuck as to what they are. These are what they are. They're small, and then they're the large ones, and this is what they do. You're not going to get, they're not bendy wire. They're not something we can put into like a thing and kind of make them stay or something like that. You can wrap this around somebody's waist or something like that. Yeah, you can make it work. It's very give. It has a lot of give in it, but it is also just what it is. Like, it doesn't seem like it's very complicated. Oh no. Looks like you just push that in there. And yeah, that's it. Simple. Very simple. But did I want it to be anything complicated? No. No, I feel like they're a little tough to get in because, like, you have to be able to kind of grip them and push them in, and there's so much give in these cords, which I guess you want, but there's so much give that it can be a little tough to get your fingers to, like, really push them in there and get them to stay. But there he is, Omega Red. I didn't have one of these, and I've wanted one for a very long time. I'm happy with this. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know how I'm going to feel as I get into it and I start to use him and he fights my Wolverine and things like that. But, I mean, I love that all of these are starting to come with, like, you know, look at that. The butterfly joints and stuff like that. Like, guys, at this point, we should just expect it. We should expect that as the line moves forward, it gets better and better and better, and it shouldn't be moving backwards. That's the reason I'm really starting to call out the female bucks. That being said, as I just said, the line should move forward and not backwards. These are old legs. Or at least they must be, because those are pins. My guess is they reused the legs from the old one, maybe? Since I never had one of these at all, it doesn't really bother me that it's a reuse, because even with it being a reuse, how do I put this? I didn't have one to feel like it was recycled. That's what I'm going to say. Every one of us gets figure at a different time. And if we happen to get one that we like, and we get it 2, 3, 4 versions down the road, that becomes the best one of them that we have for us. So there was no expectation for Omega Red. And to be fair, there also wasn't one for War Machine. War Machine, right here, as far as I could tell, is a solid figure. I don't have anything to say bad about him. I don't have anything to say that's like, you know, unbridled praise. But, like, he's fine. I mean, he's got the ab crunch and everything like that. His legs and everything feel solid. He's got decent enough movement in his head. He looks good all the way around. I kind of like this. He has this gun, which is pretty cool. We just pop it on there. There's that. He has an effect, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot, actually. I like that effect a lot. He has a missile, which they didn't come with a stand. So, like, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, they didn't. They didn't come with a stand. There's nothing in there. I didn't miss anything. So, with no stand, but the missile has, like, a hole. I mean, there. But, like, that's the stand from Maximum Spider-Man. So, that seems like a misstep. If you're going to give us an effect, look, Jada is slowly but surely changing the game here. And if you're going to give us a missile that needs to be launched, that then has this hole that needs to be on a stand, and then you don't give us a stand, that's a hit against. I have plenty of stands because of the Jada stuff that I've picked up, so it's not going to affect me, but everybody gets a first figure, whether it be their first Wolverine, their first Captain America. Everybody starts this game somewhere. And if you're jumping in and you're getting like web effects or like this missile or something like that, you want it to work. And you don't want to buy extra parts for what you just bought. That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, here you have this figure, and even if, not even, yes, adult collector as well, absolutely, but even as a kid, you want there to be everything that you need in your pack that you buy. Now, we very blatantly know that these are being sold to adult collectors. There's no argument here. Even though kids can and probably would love these, I'm not saying anything about that, but I'm saying that your primary market that you are selling to is adult collectors. We know that with Marvel Legends by now. We know that. And as such, this guy is complete. This guy isn't. Because we have an effect, which is really cool. And then we have a missile. And the missile doesn't go in there. And it doesn't connect to nothing. And it has that hole. And that makes you go, oh, okay, so I need the stand. And there is no stand. So it is missing something. It doesn't affect me, but it's something we need to say, because we do need to kind of call things out as we see them. And like I said, at this point, Jada has changed the game. Jada has made it so that we are expecting you buy a figure, you get a Chun-Li triple kick effect, you get a stand. You get a Hadouken, you get a stand. You get a Tiger, you get a stand. You get a stand. Every effect that is meant to be an effect that is meant to go away from the character gets a stand. The characters don't. We can kind of call Jada out on that one a little bit, because we got Fei Long and he has that sweet kick, but he doesn't come with a stand to do the sweet kick, right? I don't remember him getting a stand. The last couple times I've used him, I've put him on a stand. But I don't remember it being one he came with. So maybe we could say this is true for other figure companies in general, but because Jada has a good track record right now of effects that are meant to show, that they're meant to like fly across the screen or whatever, they come with the ability to do that. I just have a missile. I just have a missile. And then, of course, I have these hands, which do have holes for effects, like the laser blasts, the pew pew. But he doesn't come with laser blasts. I'm not saying they should have been completely tricked out here. I'm not saying, and I guess I get it. I don't want to pay a ridiculous amount of money, and we are dealing with everything up top being pinless and down here at the lower legs being pins. But I'm pretty sure this is an update to a figure that I've seen multiple times, because I've seen him at a thrift store that I go to very often, and I've been passing on him for a long time. I've been like, oh, I need a War Machine, but I know they're coming out with one, and I've just kind of walked away and not got him. And I think, looking this guy over, this guy looks like he was worth the wait. He looks like he's better than what I would have gotten had I bought him from the thrift store. So I think that's fine. But it does feel strangely unfinished if you're going to give me the hands that require the blast effects, which I know you have, and then not give me the blast effects, and then you're going to give me a missile in place of those blast effects that requires a stand that then doesn't get a stand. He feels unfinished. Weirdly so. But they're decent figures. Like, they're really good figures. I still would count this as a win for the Gamerverse line. Just not as strong as the Psylocke win, because the Psylocke win was so much win.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.